So there are many ways to grow your income as a business owner. Most people tend to focus on the physical things. Let's increase our prices, let's have more transactions, and lower our expenses, right? Those are the common ones. However, in this video, I want to share with you two other simple ways that can dramatically increase your income with just a few simple mind hacks that you can do anywhere. So stay tuned. Hello, I am Brenda Glover. I've been coaching business owners for the past 11 years now, and the number one goal for every business owner is always to increase their income. Obviously, there's a lot of other things that come into play, but that at the end of the day is really what they want to do. And I noticed that one size fits all approach to helping people grow their business doesn't really work when there's underlying programming going on inside my clients' heads. And so what I've done for the last year is shifted my personal focus and really started working on the internal part of reprogramming the subconscious mind to help them achieve their goals the best way that they can, but by going on it in a little unconventional. That's what I want to share with you now. But first, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you're definitely going to want to go ahead and do that. Click that button below and hit that little bell. You'll be notified every single week when I go live. And you're going to want to do that because I will be coming in here every week with nuggets to help you transform your life and business. So let's go ahead and get into it. How are we going to increase our income by hacking our subconscious mind? That's what we're going to be talking about in here. Now, what I found, there's 4 specific ways that you really can get the most out of utilizing the physical tasks as well as the internal tasks. So I want to talk about the 2 physical ones first, and then I'm going to get into that subconscious mind hack because I really do believe that they actually work together. And depending on where you're coming from, we have such different mindsets and beliefs and our truths. Some people are very analytical, some people are not analytical, and they're a little bit more flowy. Whichever way that works for you, you can utilize these together. So the first one is obviously the physical. When we're talking about growing income, we're literally talking about raising the amount of money that you get to keep, right? It's really not the amount of money that you bring in. If you're bringing in $1 million a month and it's costing you almost $1 million a month on overhead, that doesn't really count. We're really talking about how much can you keep. So obviously there's 2 things that you can do in the physicalness that I want to explain to you really quickly to kind of help you there, because if you haven't done these are one of the things that you're going to want to do in addition to the little mind hacks that I'm going to get with here. All right, the first thing, obviously you can raise your price. That is the easiest, quickest, thing that people can do is raise your price. Now, obviously you have to make sure that you're giving out good value, but raising your price is not changing anything else. You're going to bring some more income in. Now, if you don't want to raise your prices or you do raise your price, another one that you can do is increase the amount of sales, right? Actually get more customers, more people coming through the door, giving you the credit card, raising their hand and saying, yes, I want to buy, increasing the number of sales. What does that look like? How would you do that for you? More lead generation, more follow-up? How are you doing that? And then the third way to really increase income would be to increase the number of transactions. So let's say, whether you raise your price, whether you're starting to get more people coming through, either way, maybe it's just the same amount of people, but you're adding in little cross sells and upsells and downsells. So you're increasing the transaction amount. Those are really great ways to increase your income. Okay. That's physical stuff. That is things that you can do taking a look at your business, but they work. They absolutely work. And so another thing in this same category, before we get into the mind hacks, would be looking at your business more so with the leaky bucket thought process. Your business is this bucket. You've got little holes. What are those holes in your business? Where are you leaving money on the table? That's actually a great thing to look at. Sometimes we are so forward momentum in our business and we're just getting more people and more people. And then as they're coming through, we're not paying attention to the leaky bucket. And so definitely want to do that. And so where are your extra expenses that you're just spending and you really could kind of hone those in a little bit? What are your monthly continuities, subscription fees, different things that you're paying that maybe you're not using, the assets that maybe you needed in the past and you're still paying for them because maybe one day you might use it. Those are all things that you can just get rid of that are going to increase the income into your business. Obviously your profit margins, little things like that where you can take a look at your business. All of these things are tactical, physical. They're very important to growing your income as a business owner. So if you're not focused on that stuff, at least some point or someone in your business would want to be focused on that. Now, If any of that is kind of like, yeah, I do need to do that, like you're resonating, you're like, shoot, how would I go about doing that? I don't even know where to start. I do have a great resource for you. I've been a business owner for the past 11 years, but I also have a partner, and that's his specialty. So in the description below, I will put a link. That is actually what his specialty is, helping you find those holes inside your bucket, being able to help increase your profit. Very tactical, traditional kind of business coaching. So you can click the link for that, check out that, and see if that's something that's interesting for you. Is that something that you do on a regular basis? I'd like to know. Let me know kind of in the comments and say, yes, this is stuff that I focus on, or no, I know I should be focusing on it, but I don't really ever do that. I'm just curious. I know for like the first 5 years of my business, it was something that I knew I kind of should do. I had a little bit of a handle on it, but I didn't really take the time to focus. And once I did and really kind of streamline, my business it was a lot more lean, and it took off a lot more. So it's very important. So, all right. Now we got that physical stuff out of the way. I do believe it's very important, but I'm really all about transformation, rapid transformation, changing our thoughts, our mind patterns, reprogramming our subconscious so that we can get these same results. Because I got to tell you, it's actually possible. It's very, very possible. Yes, those tactical things work. I wouldn't have said them otherwise and taken the time to explain them. However, now let's take a moment and flip into our internal world. What am I talking about? What are these subconscious hacks? How do they work? How do you use them to grow your business? We have some amazing capabilities inside of our mind, our consciousness, our subconsciousness, all of that stuff. So it's time you learn how to tap into that if you're not already utilizing it. It's so much more powerful than these physical tasks that I just explained. You will get some amazing results when you put them together, but really it's time to take advantage of some of these unknowns that people might have in the day thought of as fluff. It's absolutely not fluff. This stuff is actually backed by science now. So the first one, we're going to go inward on these next two, okay? The first one, taking a moment to go inward and think about what is your relationship with money. If you want to be able to grow your income as a business owner, you really need to tap into the answer to what is your relationship with money. And what do I actually mean by that? If you haven't even heard that question before, now is the time to ponder it. If you have heard that question, you are now a different person than the first time you heard it. You might be thinking differently about money than you did in the past. Money is an energy. Think about it. It is not a tangible thing anymore. It really used to be when the dollar was actually backed by gold and we really had, the actual physical, paper bills and the coins that we would give out. We don't do that anymore. Rarely are we using cash, and in our business, almost everything is electronics these days, right? It's going into crypto. It's literally going into the invisible. Money is an energy, and you want to think about money as an energy to be able to utilize it in its best way. So one thing you can do to understand your relationship with money is to do a little bit of an internal, what I call a money audit, right? Really think about, where is your money going? Are you aware of where your money's going? Do you do your books? Do you have someone else do your books? If you have someone else doing your books, do you even have an idea of what money is going in and what money is coming out? If you're doing your own books, when you're looking at the money, are you focused more on the money that's going out versus the money that's coming in? Are you having kind of anxious and anxiety about the money that is going out when you're paying your bills? Or are you just only solely focused on, you don't even care what goes out, you're only focused on the sales that are coming in, or possibly lack of sales that might be coming in? As an entrepreneur, when we have these up and downs, sometimes it's very hard for us to gain that consistency. So we do become a little bit emotionally attached to the money that comes in and the money that goes out. I remember back in the day when I didn't know the difference between if I was in the red or the black until I started being in the red. And it was like, I didn't even want to open up my email, or I didn't even want to open up my bank account. I didn't want to see. I was a little bit scared of that. I would get a notification from the bank that would come into my email, and my entire body would just freeze up because I knew it was going to tell me I didn't have enough money. Like, I've been there. It's very stressful. And so when you have some of these attachments, that's the energy that money can give you. And it all lives in here, and it all lives in here, because that is not what the money is. You've got to make sure that your relationship with money has a very good give and take, a very good flow. Money doesn't really come into your life if you are not allowing it to flow out and being okay when it flows out, allowing it to open up. I'm gonna have an entire new topic, an entire video specifically on this one thing right here, but I just want to kind of bring it to your attention is that how are you feeling about money? What is your thought? Do you want to hold on to it? Or are you being able to just give it out freely? Those are thoughts to think about. The next thing on this same topic is your personal money equation. What is your money equation? And if you haven't heard of that term, or again, if it's been a little while, it's time to revisit that. Where's your comfort zone with the amount of money that you bring in? And I don't mean like in 5 years, my goal is to make, $1 million a month. It's not that. It's the term that, okay, I want to realistically and physically, and I believe I can achieve this much money per month. What's that number for you? Way back in the day, I remember that $10,000 a month was that super high achieving, like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even fathom making $10,000 a month until it, starts to happen to you, and then you can have it, and then it's like, oh, that's actually not that big of a deal, and then you can make $1,000 or $100,000 a month, and that seemed way big, and then it became like, oh, actually, I can actually do that. These are the type of things with money, you want to start stretching yourself, but where is your equation where you go beyond? If you start to say, you know what, my goal is to make $1 million a month, and you have yet to cross maybe the $20,000 a month barrier, that $1 million a month goal is so far out there that you either don't believe you can achieve it, you have no attachment to it, you're not going to believe that you're even worthy of it because it's so far away, or it's too stressful and it just causes you anxiety that that's not even what you're going to do. You're not even going to try to attempt to do that. So what's your money equation? Where do you feel comfortable saying, you know what? I think I can make $30,000 a month. That is something that I can do, right? Where's your money equation? And the answer to that is just to be aware. It's just to be aware, because if you're feeling uncomfortable with the goal that you set, you are never going to achieve it, because that money, that number is going to have resistance. So the hack, the subconscious hack for this one is to pay attention to what your thought is on this energeticness of money. How are you feeling about the money? Do you have resistance? Do you love money because of the way that it makes you feel when it comes in? Or when that money comes in, all you focus on is that it has to go back out? These are just things to ponder, because once you get clear on that, once you have this self-awareness, then you'll be able to actually use that to your advantage. Which then brings me to the last part of this. This is the second one of going internal. It's going, what I call, and I guess many people call this too, is starting to understand your entire relationship, like we just talked about, but going meta. Really going, like I consider it, looking down upon yourself and say, wow, look at how I feel about that. Look at what I'm thinking about that, as opposed to being in your being and saying, I'm freaking out right now, or I'm holding on to this. You're almost like you're observing yourself. That self-awareness becomes super key when you're trying to grow your business, because whatever you're thinking or holding on to is going to get projected. All right. Let's just think about going out to a restaurant, and this is an example, and tipping. You're tipping your waitress or your waiter, whoever's helping you, right? And so are you, in general, a big tipper? Do you like to, do you really like to give away that money to that person because they've done a good job, or you're valuing that they're going out and they're working hard, and they gave you an extra smile, or they did a great job? Are you willing to double the tip and triple the tip and quadruple the tip because it's worth it? Like, you want to be able to do that. Or, all right, and there's no right or wrong here, it's just being self-aware. Or it doesn't matter what the service was, it is 15%, 10%, 20%, whatever it is that you do, it's just a standard because you got to do it, and that's how it is. Those are just self-awareness, but what it does is it kind of brings attention to some of that energetic flow of the money and how you react to it, because you're projecting it out kind of into the world with specific examples like that. Another thing to take a look at is, in this self-awareness, where are you spending your money? Where is most of your money actually going? When you're doing that little money audit and you're looking at where your money's going, is it all being spent on just the specifics that your must-have? Now, I got to tell you, when you don't even have enough money to cover up your bills, you're not really thinking about other stuff like, oh, I can't even afford to do that, so I'm only thinking about this. I'm not kind of talking about that. When you have a little bit of extra, or even not paying attention, where's your money going? Is it specifically on the requirements, right? The absolute bare necessities? Or some of the extra money, is it going into your savings account just for, just in case? Is it going on pleasurable activities, outings, personal care, different things that you want to experience? Is it going to material things, things that bring you joy and that you look at them? Again, there is really no right or wrong answer, but it's going inward and paying attention to where this stuff is going, because where your focus goes, your energy will flow. And if you want to increase your income, these things all play a role. And it may sound a little bit foo-foo-y, it may sound a little bit out there, but I guarantee you some of this stuff is actually all of this stuff is completely backed now by science, quantum physics, and it's really, really interesting. And it all stems from internalizing what this money means to you. And it also goes even deeper into some of your own internal identities and limiting beliefs. So with that, I want to offer you one specific thing to help you if you'd like to learn a little bit more. But before I do, let me know in the comments, is any of this resonating with you? Where is your money equation? Do you know that? I remember thinking way back in the day when I heard this, I was like, man, $100,000. Oh my gosh, if I could make $100,000 in my business, that would, and it was exciting. It wasn't too big. $1 million in my business at that time, that just would have felt uncomfortable. It wouldn't have resonated with me. I would have resisted against it. That would have been too much pressure, too much stress. I wouldn't have liked that. So you got to just kind of understand where they are. So let me know in the comments, is this resonating with you? Are you getting some value from this? Can you relate this to your business? Because you get these things under control. You start to understand that, wow, I'm holding on to this money right now. I'm actually going to allow it and tip this person more, because I know that when my money goes out, I'm allowing the door to open for more money to come back in, right? That type of a subconscious hack allows you to open things up a little bit more. And so with that, if you want to learn more about how this stuff actually works, because I still am a very analytical person, but back in the day, I would have heard myself say this stuff and I've been like, this is complete crap. What are you talking about? I'm only going to focus on the actual specific things. And sure, that's going to work. But I can guarantee you that if you start to utilize these subconscious hacks, and that's exactly what they are, in the right manner, things happen so much faster, so much easier. Life becomes a lot more fun. Your business becomes a lot more fun. And it almost becomes this really neat game of let's see what can happen next. And so with that, I have a really amazing training. The link is in the comments. It is called the One Mindset Shift to Transform Your Business. Really talks about how you can take your internal identities, your beliefs, and utilize them specifically to help you get what you want and transform your life and business. It's a highly, highly effective training. So many people have said amazing things about it. It's completely free. The link is in the comments. I definitely suggest you check that out if you'd like to learn a little bit more about tapping into this subconscious, because this little rabbit hole can take you on such amazing adventures and just dramatically change your life. And so with that, hopefully you've got some value. Thank you for sticking with me on this video. Again, my name is Brenda Glover, and I appreciate your time and energy, and hopefully I will see you on the next video or inside my online world. Have a great day. Bye-bye.